Reading I-Ching. Splitting apart. Composition of hexagram. A mountain stands on the ground. Of course, it is a very natural phenomenon, that a mountain is on the ground. One may easily assume that it depicts high mountain peaks, rising on a solid foundation. However, I-Ching seems to interpret this hexagram in a slightly different way. Let's think about the harmony and balance between the mountain and the earth. The mountain and the land are very similar to each other in many ways. Both are elements that have solid physical attributes. Both are elements that are fixed in one place and state, rather than actively moving or changing. One of the difference between the two is that while one spreads out sideways, the other is rising upward. I-Ching often says that when a situation is too biased toward one side, a change is bound to happen, in order to keep the balance. When you stay in one fixed position for too long, or get attached to something too much, there will come a change. The more solid and strong the current situation seems to be, the more likely the change will be sudden and painful. If the mountain has risen too high toward the sky, the impact of its collapse may affect you more gravely. Overall meaning. Except for the line at the top, the hexagram is full of yin. Yin is a solid foundation, on which a lot of things can be built up, and it gives us the strength to keep on moving based on the plan. However, if such power of yin is maintained for too long a time, you may reach the status of fixation and stagnation. At this very moment, a single line of yang shines at the top of the mountain. It seems to tell you that it is now the time to get out of your old habits and move on. The overall composition of this hexagram seems similar to that of hexagram number 20, Contemplation, in which there were two lines of yang upon the pile of yin. The hexagram of splitting apart, however, seems to be one step too late to start contemplating on the situation. Maybe because we have been trying for too long to maintain our present situation, we got ourselves in a dangerous situation, in which everything we have worked for may be lost in a moment. We should have observed our surroundings carefully, and adapted to the changes in the situation, so that the power of yang can take place at an appropriate moment. But we were fixated on keeping the peace in our everyday lives too much, that we have forgotten that we need proper changes to keep it sustained. If you were accustomed to the present state for too long, the changes may seem disastrous to you. However, remember that these changes are not happening to punish you. Having the right opportunity to change at the right time will help you adapt to changing situation, and so it will help you keep your peaceful life for a long time. Therefore, instead of getting panicked or confused, you need to consider what would be a good way to embrace the changes that have already approached right in front of you. Perhaps this kind of change may feel scary, if you imagine it in your head. However, we are not necessarily talking about a huge revolution in life. The change can begin with a small interest in other people in your life. You already made one step toward the change, by simply listening to the voice of those around you carefully.